In today's video, we're going to be comparing these two powerhouses together. One model just came out with a brand new Pandem EG6. Ignition model has had it for a while, far discontinued, but we wanted to take a closer look and pit the two against each other to see what exactly the differences are, and is it worth getting one of the one model EG6s, starting right now. What's going on, collectors? My name is James with Model Cars Houston. Here we love talking about everything scaled, everything JDM and collector grade. Today I've got these two awesome models that I want to pit against each other, but I did want to take a closer look to see exactly what makes them different. If you're new to the channel, subscribe now, hit the little bell, that way you can stay up to date on all the new video releases that I'll be doing. We're also giving a small giveaway on the newer one model release. So leave a comment below as to which one you thought was your favorite model. Before we start, I just want to give a quick shout out to Anthony. He was able to provide this ignition model unit for me to do this video in comparison to the one model. He's got a massive collection of ignition models, so shout out to him. All right, guys, here we go. We've got ignition model at the front, one model in the back, or vice versa. I'm not biased towards either brand. I love both brands, but because one model just came out with this brand new release here for their EG6 version of a Rocket Bunny, I figured it was a good opportunity to compare and see how it differs from the ignition model version. The ignition model version has actually been out for a while, but it's been discontinued. And so people that did not get an opportunity to get the model can now maybe resort to this one. But for purposes of this video, I just wanted to see what the differences were between the two. Just by looking at it briefly, I can already tell some of the differences. So for now, we can start with the packaging. As far as the packaging goes, pretty simple, pretty basic, nothing special. Both have acrylic cases, both have the plastic base. The ignition model base probably looks a little bit fancier because it looks like it's textured and it's got the red stitching on there. It's just for show, it's not real red stitching. Whereas the one model, you can see it's just a plain black base. The other thing that does look nice though on the ignition model version is I like the detail on the plaque. I like the way that the logo, their brand, and the Civic EG6 is spelled out. Whereas on the Rocket Bunny, it's kind of basic. It's not as detailed as the ignition model version. So they did do nicely on that. Ignition model is all limited production stuff, hence why these are discontinued now. A little bit harder to find. Prices have gone up on it because of that reason. One model doesn't spell out that it's limited edition, but as with all collector grade diecast and models, eventually it will become limited. So if you're looking for one, it'd be a good time to get one if it's something that you feel fits the bill for you. All right, guys, we've got both of them out of their cases now, and we're getting ready to get down into business here. So here's what we got going on. We can start from the front. One of the things I noticed immediately between the two, the one model version, which is over here, you can tell that it actually has a front mount intercooler, just like the real version. The ignition model does not have that front mount. The feelers and the splitter look pretty good on both. You can also notice on the front bumper, the ignition model version, which is over here, has the fog light covers painted the same body color, whereas the one model version does not have any of those fog light covers. The real version of the car actually does have the fog light covers. I don't know if the fog lights are in there, but it does definitely have the fog light covers and they're painted. The next thing that I see is on the front, the headlights. The ignition model headlights definitely resemble that of the Civic 92, 95 EG type style headlights a lot better. You could tell that the shape is just more defined, whereas the one model version, it doesn't have the shape as well, and I don't know if you can see it, and I don't know if all the casts are like that, but on my example here, you can see the headlight is about to fall off. So they didn't do a really good job on that one, unfortunately. Now, I don't know if they're all like that. The next thing I noticed just looking at it from the front is I like the way the banner for the Rocket Bunny looks on the Ignition model a little bit better. It looks to be a little bit more clear, a little bit more bigger as opposed to the one model version up here at the top. I'm talking about the banner up there. The hood, if you look at the hood, Ignition model did a really good job with the lines of where the hood, fender, and bumper meet. For the one model version, it kind of looks like it's just one piece because maybe they painted it within the lines too much. But it just looks like one whole front end piece. One model, however, did go to the extra depth of detail and put in the washer nozzles and hood latches here, whereas the Ignition model version actually does not have those details. Now, maybe it looks cleaner without it, but one model did go the extra step to put that in there. So that's what we're looking at for the front. Let's now go to the side. All right, guys, here we are at the side profile of the car. One of the things you'll notice immediately is that the wheels are different. However, I think both types of wheels look great on the car. So no real differences there. One of the detail differences that I noticed also is that the Ignition model version does not have the black riveting detail on the over fenders, as you can see for the front and the back. Whereas the one model version, you do see those riveting details here. That's a cool little add. The door handles are painted black on the Ignition model version up there. One model is not painted. I like that both of the models actually have the black trim around the window. It just gives it that extra little depth of realism. The spoiler looks pretty accurate from the side profile, except I can see a little riveting on the one model version, whereas the Ignition model does not have anything. Logo looks good. The stickers on the side look good. So that's what's going on the side. Now we're going to move on to the rear of the vehicle. We've got one model on this side and Ignition on this side now. We flipped it around a little bit, but definitely with the rear, I'm noticing a lot of differences. The one model version actually has the defrost on the rear hatch window. The Ignition model does not. Maybe that's a preference thing as well. Without the lines actually does make it look pretty clean. The one model version also has the Honda logo, the Civic logo, and all that, whereas the Ignition model does not. The taillights are also very different. You can see that the one model version, they went to the extra mile of putting it as two different colors, clear up top, red on the bottom, whereas the Ignition model, they just went with the all red taillights. As far as the exhaust goes, the one model version has more of what looks like a muffler. You can see the tailpipe there. The Ignition model, a little bit hard to make out exactly what that exhaust looks like. It actually just looks like a little nub. It doesn't even look like an exhaust in my opinion, but both models have the Pandem sticker underneath the spoiler, so they did good there. Well guys, that's actually a pretty general overview of both cars side by side. One of the things I will say is that one model is actually going to be coming out with a whole slew of 64 scale EG6 Rocket Bunnies. They're probably going to run through a multitude of colors. The white is their first variation. They'll probably release the red one next. And they're just announced a dark blue version as well, so stay tuned for those. But hey, if you're an EG6 fan, then you know collecting stuff like this is always fun because we don't get to see a lot of EG6 diecasts anyways. But to see them in this type of detail, which I still feel is definitely a step up from things such as Hot Wheels and Matchbox, it's still an awesome piece to have. I've added links in the description below with my products, my website, Facebook page, and Instagram where you can see all my customers' goods. In addition, I've also included my secret link to my Facebook pre-order page where you can pre-order brand new releases and get them right when they come out. The winner from my last video is Hundreds Kid. Please email me via the About Us page so you can claim your prize. That's going to be for that awesome Inno Models Resin Liberty Walk R34. If you're enjoying the content, hit the like button. If you want to stay up to date on future videos, click the subscribe button and the little notification bell. For my recent videos, like the Inno models Resin R34, you can check them out here. Everyone drive safe out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next video.